Joining the debate tonight is liberal commentator Roosevelt Mitchell.
Roosevelt Mitchell, he's an educator.
Educator, author, and political consultant, Roosevelt Mitchell.
Dude dropped nothing but knowledge on his social media. Roosevelt Mitchell the third.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. I'm your host, Roosevelt Mitchell III, and welcome to this episode of the Mitchell File, where we discuss and talk about everything as it relates to the field of education. As a teacher myself, as an educator myself, I am in it, right? I love speaking about the news, about what's actually going on, what's actually happening, and just providing insight from my point of view about the field of education. And today I would like to speak about what's going on in Chicago. You know, for all of you who have not heard, the Chicago teachers were supposed to go back to school in person yesterday. We all know how big Chicago public schools are, but they have a massive teachers union. Massive. And a lot of them, like many teachers, feel some type of way about going back to school in person, about their safety for not just them, but their family. You still have to be around students who you do not know if their family is taking the virus serious or exposure serious, and then they come to school and you have to be around them, and then in your mind you're thinking, well, what if I get sick? I take it home to my babies, they get sick, I take it home to my spouse, he or she cannot work, the whole household is sick. So, you know, and then we don't even know the long-term effects of the coronavirus. A lot of educators have not been able to even get the vaccine if they want it, right? They're going in the hierarchy of first-line workers and the elderly and et cetera. And a lot of teachers hadn't even had the opportunity to get the vaccine if they want it. A lot of teachers don't want it. So you're stuck between this rock and this hard place as a district, because Joe Biden has stated that he wants all of the schools to open within the next 3 months, right? And I get it. According to the CDC guidelines and recommendations, that's very, very easy for private schools, charter schools, parochial schools, right? Schools with smaller class sizes, smaller attendance. That's easy. That's easy to space out students. But in school districts like Chicago Public Schools, which is massive, in larger school districts, it gets kind of slippery. There's a slippery slope because the class sizes aren't that small to begin with. I personally taught in classrooms to where we didn't even have enough desks. A student had to stand up in the back of the classroom and lean on the heater. And we couldn't even go get a desk from another classroom and put it in there because we had no more space. And I had to stand up the whole time. So it's different situations, and it's not as easy as the President Biden stating, well, yeah, I want all the schools to open up, so just open up. No, because you're facing opposition because you're not thinking about the educators, all of the educators. You know, you just going off the CDC, in which I've said this time and time again on multiple videos. Show me a classroom, public education, that the CDC members have taught in. Let me see them teach or go inside of there and understand the different working mechanisms that's going on all at once. It's more than just showing up and putting on a mask. It's a lot more than that, especially when you are teaching in poverty-stricken areas. It's a lot more than that, you know, and I'm not saying that it can't be done. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I'm saying there are different things to consider as opposed to making a blanket statement and wanting everybody to do what the private schools, the charter schools, the schools with the small attendance. Because even at the end of the day, if excuse me, if the school open and one person gets it, an entire classroom or 2 classrooms may have to sit out for 14 days. I've been seeing just on my Facebook, different schools have opened and have had to shut down for 14 days because of so many students have gotten it. Now, do we want to go back for a few weeks and then have to sit out for another few weeks and go remote just to say that school is open and we're going back? Or do you try to wait it out? Right? So back to the Chicago piece, Mayor Lightfoot stated she demanded all the teachers to show up yesterday back at school in person, and if not, they even threatened action to lock the teachers out of remote access. And then, you know, you get reprimanded like, no show. You didn't show up for work, but you can't log in online or anything like that. And several of the more than several, a lot of the special education teachers and I think kindergarten teachers, they supposed to return last month, and a lot of them didn't return, and they just didn't return at all. So let me try to share my screen with you. Bear with me 1 second. Let me share my screen because I want you all to see this. I want you all to see this article. Chicago mayor, this was heard from yesterday. Just saying that all the pre-K to 8th grade teachers were to return to the classroom yesterday if they had not received a special accommodation. And there's been special accommodations going, like if you have healthcare issues already, pre-existing conditions, and you have documentation, many school districts are allowing those teachers to stay at home and teach remote. Or if in some school districts that's really working with educators, if you have children and you can't find daycare because your children's school has not opened up yet, then they allow you to work from home as well. And that's a real great benefit. But we all know the Chicago Teachers Union is nothing to play with. Mayor Lightfoot was just going on record stating that the schools are safe. And this was her statement. We expect all of our teachers who have not received a specific accommodation to come to school tomorrow. Those who do not report to work, and I hate to even go there, but we're going to have to take action. Now you're talking about taking action on your teachers. They've had supposedly 70 formal meetings since June to try to go back and forth and make sure that the teachers are safe and everything is safe. The mayor even said that there has been $100 million in investments to mitigate the spread of COVID-19 at his schools, including health screenings, temperature checks, hand sanitizer, PPE, disinfecting, social distancing, and contact tracing. They didn't spend $100 million. But look at this number. Right now, they are anticipating 77,000 students. That's a lot of students. That's a lot of students. And this is the latest from, they call for 2 days of cooling off as it reports progress in averting a CTU strike, Chicago Teachers Credit Union, right? Like the teachers band together and strike. Then you can't open up the schools if there's a strike. You cannot, right? So they withdrew. They had to back up a little bit, and they withdrew the threats to lock out educators who refused to show up for work. Again, you can only state that if it's only going to be a few. But if all the teachers say, "Hey, we're not doing it," or the teachers union say we're not doing it, then you have to find another resolution. So big ups to the school district for actually just taking a step back, saying, "Oh, okay, let's just cool off for a couple of days. We're not going to lock out the educators." So they're still trying to work it out. There's no guarantee negotiations or anything like that. But it's just an interesting situation, because I think this is going to set the tone for many cities and states. This is going to set precedent, right? So I'm hoping they can get it worked out, because this is going to set precedent, and I think this is going to happen in a lot of school districts, to where a majority of the teachers, especially in high poverty areas, is not going to feel safe. The classrooms were overcrowded before. Now you saying we going back in the same classrooms that were overcrowded before with the presence of COVID? It's a tough situation. But I would love to hear what you think. So please leave a comment in the section below. And until next time, my friends, be blessed and be encouraged.